Joining us now is Toomas Ilves. He is the former president of Estonia. He also served as the former Estonian ambassador to the United States and to Canada. Mr. President, thank you for being with us tonight. For the immediate future, and we're talking about days or weeks now, what do you think the response from the West should be to Russia? Is it more sanctions? Is it Europe saying we're shutting off the gas and oil flow? Specifically, what would you like to see done in the days to come?
Well, the most pressing matter, of course, is shutting off the money supply to the Russians, and that really, I mean, they're getting several billion a week from selling gas primarily to three countries: Germany, Austria, and Hungary. So that would be the toughest blow. Where we see other activities, however, which is equally, I think, forceful, is, for example, open source intelligence identifying the troops who were in place today when the Russians basically pushed back and saying this was all made up. Now the New York Times has just published old aerial photography of the bodies lying there. So the Russians are being consistently embarrassed by their own propaganda failures.
You understand this well, having been the president of Estonia and having been the ambassador to the United States and Canada. What is surprising about what you just mentioned is this conspiracy theory, the pushback by Russia about how the Ukrainians themselves may have killed those people and planted their bodies. It gets into the American conspiracy theory far-right echo chamber as well. There are Americans saying, well, how do you really know that the Russians killed these people? How do you really know those are atrocities? Maybe it's just propaganda.
Well, we saw this already in 2014 when the Russians shot down the MH17 Malaysian airliner, where they made all kinds of claims that, well, actually the plane had been filled beforehand with corpses by CIA. No one bought that. No serious people bought that. And now, too, when you keep coming up with evidence, as the Times just published with or rather, like 3-week-old aerial pictures of bodies lying in the street, then once again that has been debunked. And this is always a problem we have to face, is that people will come up with wild, wide-eyed conspiracy theories, and then it unfortunately becomes the task of the truth tellers to push back on those kinds of wild conspiracies. And in this case, it's quite clear the Russians really blew it with their claims.
So at this point, I mean, just a few days ago, we had seen the conversations between the Russians and the Ukrainians in Ukraine. They continued via teleconference. There was real optimism about possible peace talks. There were even discussions from the Russians about a meeting between Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. Is there a diplomatic path forward here?
Well, I think the discovery of the massive war crimes makes it very difficult politically for President Zelensky to give away too much in discussions. I think that this has so completely horrified not only the Ukrainian public, but the rest of the West, that the pressures he was under until just a few days ago to make concessions have, I think, lightened considerably. And for himself, I mean, let's face it, the difference between Ukraine and Russia, the fundamental difference is that Ukraine has a democratically elected president. And he can't do things the way Putin can. I mean, he has a free press, and if he's going to make concessions, his public will get very angry. His electorate will get very angry. And certainly after all of these horrific pictures and this evidence of what has been going on, and moreover seems to have been going on in other cities and towns in Ukraine as well, it will make the peace process far more difficult than it has been up till now.
Toomas Ilves is the former president of Estonia, former Estonian ambassador to the United States and to Canada. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Well, thank you.